So if we are going to solve an equation using substitution, substitution means that we're going to find one of the variables and then substitute in for one of those variables what that variable equals. So here I see that I have negative 4x plus 3y equals negative 2, and then I have y equals x minus 1. Well, I can substitute for that y what y equals. Y equals x minus 1. So I'm going to rewrite my equation, and instead of putting the y right here after this 3, there used to be a y, I'm going to put in x minus 1. And I like to use those parentheses because it helps me to visualize that that's where I have substituted. Alrighty, so now let's do our distributive property. Yes, I will wake up this morning. So we have a plus 3 times an x, and then I have a plus 3 times a negative 1, which is negative 3. I'll write everything else that I didn't do anything with, and now I need to solve this for x. See how there's only x's in that equation now, and so I can solve for one of the variables. You can't find out what x equals if you have a variable of y. So what we essentially did there is we took out the y and replaced it with an x when we substituted. Alright, so negative 4x plus 3x gives me a negative 1x. Combining like terms on the left side. These are like terms. And now I will undo this minus 3. The inverse operation, or the opposite, is adding 3 to both sides. So now I have negative 1x equals negative 2 plus 3 is just like saying plus 3 minus 2, which is 1. And now divide both sides by negative 1. X equals negative 1. Now that I know what x equals, I can find out what y equals, and I'm going to choose the most simple equation to put what x equals in for x, substituting in. So if x equals negative 1, I'm going to replace x with negative 1. So I have y equals negative 1 take away 1, y equals negative 2.